My question relates to potential conflict of interest to carry out your duties in an independent manner, free from any external interference. Shortly after your term in office as the Minister of Finance in Portugal, you went straight through the revolving door to become a director for an investment company that specializes in buying up of distressed assets and defaulted loans, including from Portuguese banks that had been until recently under your direct oversight as minister. Your role at that company also coincided with your duties as a member of the Portuguese Parliament. The severity of this conflict of interest led a legal change in the Portuguese framework governing the incompatibilities and restrictions for holders of political office. So, yeah. What assurance can you give this committee that any past, current, or future activities that you carry out or intend to carry out will not cast doubt on the performance of your duties as Commissioner?
Morning, Mr. Fernandez. Thank you for your question. Let me just clarify what you said is true. After being Minister of Finance, I did work for a UK-based group called Aero Global Company. It was at the time listed in the London Stock Exchange, being an asset manager and a credit services provider, and I did that while being a member of the Portuguese Parliament. That point was assessed by the Ethics Committee of the Portuguese Parliament. It concluded that there was no conflict of interest and no incompatibility. So that issue was properly addressed where it should have been. From the perspective of why, or the guarantees that I should give you, that I would be independent. I have had different roles in my past. I have, as I said, over 30 years experience in economics and finance, most of which, by the way, about 25 were on the public sector. And more recently, I had these roles as an independent non-executive director. And independent non-executive directors are those people called in to scrutinize the work and to control the work of the executive parts of the companies and to make sure that they comply, not just in format, but also in substance, to regulatory requirements, to best conduct processes, that they deliver the business in the best interest of all stakeholders, workers included, society at large. So the work of an independent non-executive director is exactly a role which is probably closer to the role of a regulator than the role of an executive within the same company. And I can promise you that I will serve the interest of the European citizens in the European alone under all circumstances. If you confirm me, that is the oath I will take.
Thank you.
And that I will follow through time. Thank you.
Follow up for 40 seconds.
Thank you. Now, after the result of the American elections this morning, I would like to ask you if you believe that Europe should follow a race to the bottom in our regulatory framework in order to keep a supposed level playing field, or should we, in order to ensure financial stability, prepare our prudential framework to avoid negative impact of the regulated agenda that we expect from the states? Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Fernandez. I am well aware of the fact that some of our international partners have decided to give it more time before implementing, namely the Basel III requirements. As I said in my opening remarks, and I will keep saying through this hearing, I am very much aware of the need to preserve financial stability. I would not defend the race to the bottom. I'm aware of the challenges to need to keep a level playing field, but I would urge our international partners to also implement the proper framework, because I do believe that the agreement reached on the prudential requirements for the financial system are key to develop to maintain a resilient financial system, and that it is in the best interest of the Europeans, and it should be the best interest of Europeans that should guide us through all this process. Thank you.